As Eurocrats count the cost of life without Britain, they have proposed swingeing cuts to funding for the Union's flagship cohesion policy as a way to plug a £11. £5 billion gap once the UK exits. But Europe's poorest regions fear Brussels bureaucrats are on self-destruct as they warn harsh cuts could destroy the EU. The Czech Republic is one of those nations after receiving €22.1 billion during the EU's previous budget cycle, a figure likely to be slashed in the coming weeks. Czech State Secretary for European Affairs Aleš Chmelař told politics news site, politico.co.uk, "We tend to forget why the cohesion policy was created in the first place." Related articles: EU on the brink as Netherlands refuse to pay more to plug Brexit BL. La Palma volcano eruption not impossible. If two large cuts in cohesion policy were implemented, this would put the whole European project and its main benefits at risk. Aleš Chmelař, Czech State Secretary for European Affairs. If two large cuts in cohesion policy were implemented, this would put the whole European project and its main benefits at risk. The EU's controversial cohesion policy involves huge sums of cash being invested in the poorest regions of the Union, with the goal of improving living standards, developing new infrastructure and creating jobs. Funding for the cohesion project makes up a whopping one-third of the EU's budget. Net contributor nations are responsible for funding this policy, which is designed to improve living standards, modernize infrastructure and boost economic growth. Scores of major projects across the UK have been paid for thanks to the policy. But since 2014 the EU has changed tack and opted to only invest cash in the most deprived areas. However, European Budget Commissioner Günther Oettinger said the EU is ready to cut back on some of its landmark schemes, such as its cohesion policy, which provides massive investment to the bloc's poorest regions. This comes after he revealed the EU faces an £11 billion shortfall due to Brexit, which forms part of an overall £18 billion budget black hole caused by other crises including migration. Mayor of the Czech city of Ostrava, Tomáš Makura, said his region was preparing for the worst. He added, "We are definitely trying to be prepared for the period when the EU and other funds will be lower, or maybe zero." "We try to collect money from other players." Tomáš Chmelař, director of a regional development agency in Ostrava, warned companies would cease to exist or significantly reduce their service if cohesion funding was cut. The warning comes after the Netherlands became the latest EU member to refuse to pay more to plug the budget black hole left by Brexit. The act of defiance showed the cracks starting emerge in the 27-member bloc, who have put on a united front in Brexit talks. Related articles: Cyclone Gita latest, New Zealand braces for storm as resident surge. Style-savvy Kate steps into Queen's shoes to host fashion event at. U.S. officials tell world leaders to ignore President Donald Trump.